Yo, what's going on guys, welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 6 brawlers in this current meta. So only a few days into the new balance changes, but thought I'd give you guys my first look or first impressions on the meta and give you guys the top 6 brawlers. So before we get into today's video, make sure you're using the create code in the shop, that'd be greatly appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, so jumping into the 6th best brawler in this meta, we have Grom. So Grom I still feel like is pretty OP, to be honest. I feel like it has hit him in terms of like the aggro brawlers. The aggro brawlers can really get on top of him now, and that's what he's going to struggle with, but he still is really toxic. Just his main attack is just really strong. His super is going to be really annoying to deal with, and his gadget as well still offers so much value in terms of your lanes pushing up. I still feel like he's one of the best brawlers in the game, and still in Power League people ban him near enough all of the time, so I feel like he could easily be higher than top 6 as well, but I feel maybe he's dropped down just a little bit and people haven't realized just yet. But still, top 6 brawler in the game, absolutely broken. So hopefully he will be getting more nerfs in the future, because it's just so frustrating to play against a brawler like Grom. Just his overall mechanics, being able to snipe people across the map, especially with his super as well. Basically not many brawlers in the game being able to counter him. It can be really frustrating to play against, and I don't really like it when in Power League when there's just like one brawler that's really strong, because you always have to waste a ban on it. I like it when the meta's like multiple good brawlers, so you kind of got to think about what you're banning, but always within the last week or so, you've just had to automatically ban Grom. Even sometimes when you had first pick, it was just Grom all day long. So I'm hoping in the next few days that the balance changes and the meta kind of fiddles out a little bit, and maybe Grom isn't as strong as we expected. Who really knows? But yeah, you should still be looking to play him a lot. Maybe not on every single map. Obviously, again, like there's probably a few maps in the game where he's probably gonna get folded by those aggro brawlers, but still on the grassy maps, that gadget is just so strong. I think of Sneaky Fields again, where even as a mid, he's going to be so toxic, just literally because you know where all the enemies are immediately straight away. So it's going to be really easy for you to pinch them down. And yeah, it's going to be pretty strong. So if you're looking to counter him, I feel like the top brawlers to counter him, the likes of Buzz, Mortis, the brawlers that can just get into his face a lot of the time, he's not going to be able to deal with very well. And especially because it takes him a long time to get super. And there's even like, I think there's a small bug at the moment where he actually takes even longer than anticipated to get his super. So it takes him even longer. So after they fix this, it'll be a little bit easier to play him again, or play him into aggro, because you get his super one hit earlier. But still, he's not as good as he once was. So I'm able to get a double kill there. Should be able to get the kill onto Spike, and even if I don't, I should be able to put this into the net. So that's going to be number 6. Let's hop into number 5. Alright guys, so hopping into the 5th best brawler in this current meta, we have Meg. So Meg got a recent nerf. I think it has affected her just a little bit, but I still feel like Meg is busted. Meg is so strong, and especially because of her gears. So like the damage gear on Meg is just absolutely insane. So of course it's going to take her a little bit longer to get her super, but I don't think that's the main reason why Meg is so strong. The gears are busted, as I said. She's got really good range in her normal attack as well. It just, everything about her is just so strong. It's so annoying to face off against a Meg. So I feel like Meg still needs another nerf. She's still as strong as before, in my opinion. Just going to take a little bit longer to get, but it's not really going to affect her. Maybe like a couple of seconds extra, maybe like 5 seconds extra to get that suit, and then once you get it once, it's just going to be so easy to cycle over and over again. There's not much that the enemy team can really do when you're facing off against the Meg. She don't have really many counters in the game, and she's just overall really OP. So that's going to be number 5. Let's hop into number 4. Alright guys, so hopping into the 4th best brawler in the game right now, we have Belle. So you might be wondering why Belle has gone up so many places. I just feel like Belle is so strong in this meta. Not many things are going to really counter her, and there's even more aggro in this meta. So the likes of Ashe, for example, have been buffed, and Belle's just a really good mid in the sense that you can kind of rely on her in terms of her traps. She's got a really good super that can melt tanks, and just overall a really solid pick in this meta. Good across so many different game modes, and just still so strong. Nothing really changed about Belle in the past, I don't know, however long she's been in the game. She's still really strong. So also there are a few honorable mentions as well that I've not mentioned yet, but the likes of Ashe, for example, I feel like Ashe is a really strong brawler right now, especially in the right map. I feel like he's actually really underrated. I did actually call that in my balance change video. I felt like that HP buff was going to do a sizable thing for him, but as I said, it's really strong. Fang as well, just barely missing out on the top 6 in my opinion. I feel like if I was to put him in this top 6, I'm probably overrating him just a little bit, but I feel like Fang, once you get your super with him, you can easily chain, and he's just so strong. Like, that super is so cracked out. The only thing about Fang, for me, the reason why he's not top 6 worthy just is because of his normal like attack. Like, whenever you shoot your boot out, I feel like his boot is just so easy to, well, dodge, and obviously hard to hit. I just feel like it takes sometimes a little bit too long to get his super, but as I said, once you get that super, sometimes you can get some insane potential. Like, there's been multiple times whenever I've played him where I've just got like an insane triple kill with him. So looks like our teammates are probably struggling to get this ball away, and we're going to lose that game. But Belle's still the 4th strongest brawler in the meta. Let's hop into number 3. Alright guys, so jumping into the 3rd strongest brawler in this current meta, we have Spike. So Spike, nothing has really changed about him in the balance changes. If only he's got stronger because of other brawlers around him getting a little bit weaker. So the biggest counter probably to Spike really being throwers, and Grom was a big counter to him. Grom obviously got that nerf. That's going to help Spike out a little bit. I just feel like Spike right now is just so insane. His gadget just allows you to waste so much ammo of the enemy. A good Spike can easily zone out a lot of the map as well. His super is really good on maps that don't have like a lot of lanes. You can just throw that into a choke point. It's going to be really hard for the enemy to really do anything. I just feel like he's so versatile, and the main reason why he's in the top 3. You can basically pull out a Spike on any given map or mode. So if you don't really know who to go, you can easily just go a curveball Spike. It's just so easy to use. Of course, on the really long range maps and certain circumstances against like really good pro players, they will know how to dodge curveball, but overall it's still pretty busted and just broken. Like, it deals so much damage. It's just so easy to use in this current meta as well. Easily a top 6 brawler in the game right now. There's just no debating how strong he is. I feel like he's easily top 3 brawler in the game, to be honest. A few people might disagree, but in terms of like pro players, I think near enough all of them would agree at how strong Spike is in the current meta. So if we're talking about nerfs of Spike, I feel like definitely his gadget is in need of a little bit of a nerf. I feel like it has too much tanking. Like 3,500 HP is literally how much HP he has anyways. I feel like that's a little bit too much. I don't think it should just be able to pop that on the ground. And also he gets that 1,000 healing. Just probably nerf his gadget a little bit, and probably nerf his damage a tiny bit. And we might see Spike be a little bit more balanced, because right now he's just too good. So I do normally like Spike in the meta. Curveball can be really frustrating, but of course I feel like he's just too strong. So going into the last 40 seconds here, looks like we're in a decent position to win this. Trying to get as much value out of my damage gear as possible. Gonna throw a super onto the enemies respawning as well. Okay, this is gonna be pretty hard to defend a Daryl rolling. That's a nice ball grab from the Mortis. Just gonna place my gadget in front of the Daryl. Should be able to get him down. That's a really nice goal from the Mortis right there. So Spike, easily top 3 brawler in this meta. Let's hop into number 2. Alright guys, so jumping into the 2nd best brawler in the game right now, we have Byron. Byron is absolutely cracked out in this meta. He's so strong. Main reason is for it is just so versatile, good on literally so many different modes and maps, and he can just synergize with basically every single brawler in the game. So obviously like synergizing in comps is really important, and Byron is one of those brawlers where you don't even have to think. He pretty much synergizes with every single brawler and comp inside of a game. His main attack is just so easy to hit, in my opinion. For a sharpshooter as well, I feel like it's really hard if you're facing against a Byron to actually dodge his attack. It can be so frustrating, especially if you get like free tapped and then he has this super and he finishes you off with a super. It's just such a toxic combo. He's so strong in this meta. Of course, he still might be struggling against some aggro brawlers, so of course you gotta be wary if the enemy's going like multiple aggro brawlers, but overall I just feel like he's really strong and thriving in this meta. So kind of playing like trash inside of this video, but believe me, Byron's still as strong as ever, and especially with the rise of brawlers like Ash as well, I feel like Byron is even stronger because of that synergy alone. Remember when Ash was released, that Byron Ash synergy is so strong, but it's kind of came back again because of how strong Ash is in the meta and other aggros as well. It's a very tanky meta, so of course Byron is going to be pretty high because he's one of those brawlers that can thrive under well, obviously healing your tanks up and then also just dealing damage to those tank counters. So looks like we're in a decent position to score here, I'm hoping. Okay, nice from the Colt. He should be able to break open more of that goal up. Shelly's just going to get frozen so toxically there. We're going to auto aim or super. A lot of times as well, we've learned with Byron that auto aim in your super can be really beneficial. A lot of times I use just manually aim in super, but for the most part, auto aim in a super is going to allow you to land or land on your enemies. Just going to use that on the mortars, and I do use melees for the most part, just because it can be really toxic, especially against tanks. So if you're playing against tanks, 100% use melees in my opinion, because it's going to be really frustrating for the tank not to heal up at all for a while. But obviously there's some comps that you want to be using injection, especially if you're using like a toxic gadget where you want to shoot through. So like rough sandbags, for example, I will use that injection star power. So looks like Lou has somehow cycled 2 supers in a row here. So looks like we're in a position to score here. So somehow we messed it up again. I don't know how we haven't scored yet. Okay, we've got 17 seconds left to score. Hoping we can finish off this game with a dub. Okay, we get a nice splash onto our Shelly. Well, onto their Shelly, and yeah, I think that's going to be it for this game. So it looks like Byron is going to be easily the second best brawler in the meta right now. Let's hop into number 1. Alright guys, so jumping into the best brawler in the game right now, I feel like there should be no surprises here. Daryl is going to be the best brawler in the game. He's so OP, and I still feel like, again, he's been underrated in Power League, especially considering the fact that in scrims, Daryl is basically used in every single combo, and in Power League, people are just a bit scared to go Daryl. I don't know why. He's just good on every single game mode right now. Of course, he can be countered, but I still feel like a good Daryl can easily outplay the opposition. So we should be able to probably get the goal here. Looks like Primo's going to throw us away. That's going to be an easy walk-in against this Mortis. So yeah, as I was saying, like a good Daryl, easily able to chain in supers over and over again, and it's so hard in those 1v1 engagements to kill a Daryl because of that extra 25% shield on his star powers. So we should be able to use our slow on this Jackie. Gonna use our super again, and that's gonna be a really easy win. But I feel like we don't really need to talk about how strong Daryl is right now. He's just still busted. He's received no nerf within the last set of balance changes that I was really surprised about. So in turn, other brawlers around him have got a few nerfs, so he's going to be the best brawler in the game. So let me know what you think of the list in the comment section below. I don't think the top 6 in the meta has changed too much. As I said, there's a few other brawlers that have actually been pretty strong in the meta, but could be stronger in the coming days. So the likes of Ash, for example, Fang, I feel like these are some brawlers that could maybe sneak into the top 6 as well in the future. So that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.